So, for those of you who don't know, there was a Pokemon Presents today on Pokemon Day, in what, in my opinion, was the most hilarious Pokemon Presents yet. It is time to talk about what was revealed and our thoughts about it. And what better way to do that than talking about it with our favorite people? Everybody give a warm welcome to Dusty Go-Goat from Dusty Go-Goat.
What's up, everyone? It's Dusty. What's up? How you doing?
And also the man of the hour who got almost every prediction correct, Cam Tendo.
Well, it is good, everybody. It's Cam Tendo.
First, we need to address the huge elephant in the room, and that is Creepachu. That creepy Pikachu electronic thing that was just foreboding in the background the entire present.
Don't even bring it up on the screen. I don't want to see it again.
Yeah, it's...
Why are we even talking about this? This is horrifying. It's near bedtime.
This was
It's dark out. It could be in the corner right now.
It was a horror present.
It's like they made it and they're just proud of it.
They made it talk. It talked in the video.
Yeah,
and it would the weirdest part though was it would just like lick its lips when it wasn't talking to sometimes. Yeah, it would just like open its mouth.
Pikachu. So creepy. That was my reenactment.
Yeah, nice.
I wish we would just bring those plushes back in the background. Those were a lot, more inviting than that animatronic.
If this Sableye disappears at any point, okay, of this video, you guys gotta let me know because I'm probably gonna die.
He's gonna come through the screen and come into one of our rooms or something.
If that thing just goes missing,
that'd be like that one movie where it actually things like that actually do happen. It's like a horror movie, really goofy horror movie, but that exists, and that's gonna be your Sableye in a bit here. So let's go ahead and move on to the next elephant in the room, and that was they finally, after like 10 years, revealed Pokemon Sleep. And at first I was like, I don't understand what is going on here. It was actually really vague and I didn't get it, and then they finally explained it and I was like, this is it's kind of cool, but also not what I expected it to be at all. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Let's start with you, Dusty.
I don't totally understand what the purpose of it is. I always saw it as just a Pokemon version of a sleeping app, which would generally tell you like how well you're sleeping. I mean, I think in recent science, there's been a lot of science around like connecting sleep to health, like long-term health benefits. I'm not a scientist. This isn't one of those podcasts. I have no idea. But if there is a connection to Pokemon Go, which is a lot of fun, right? I think if there's a Pokemon game that could maybe get me to sleep better, I'm down.
So I struggle with sleeping, so if it can actually help me to sleep, then I would love that. But the way that they presented it, it actually seems like it would have the opposite effect, especially if you get that peripheral, which says that like Pikachu will sing you lullabies in the middle of the night. And after seeing that creepy animatronic Pikachu, I don't know if I want that personally. What about you, Cam?
For me personally, I don't know about you guys, but I felt like it overstayed its welcome and the presents. Like, yeah. The reveal was nice. It was nice to know that the game still exists and that it's coming out soon. But when they took the time to explain it, I was kind of just like, do we really need this?
The reveal should have been the explanation.
Yeah, I didn't think it was all that necessary. It felt like, I don't know, the DLC was the shortest part for me, I believe. But Sleep was so unnecessarily long. Like, we knew what it was going into it. They didn't really need to explain everything about it. And if they did, they could have explained it at a later date. Personally,
yeah, this definitely could have been a one-off like Pokemon Presents where they go, guess what? Get your eye mask, your sleeping mask. There's a Pokemon Presents, and then they drop this. That'd be fine.
Yeah,
I agree. I just felt like they could have just did the reveal, gave us a release date, and just left it at that. But instead, they did the reveal, release date, and they're like, let's explain how you sleep with the app.
It's kind of interesting in premise. Don't get me wrong. Like, and they kind of made a game out of it, which is good, and that's what you want, right, from a Pokemon Sleep app. But it doesn't. I just don't know how effective it would be in helping, or if it actually might be worse, because there's another thing that is you know, the fact that it's been known scientifically that being on your phone before and after bed is not good for your sleep. Like being on your phone right before you sleep and being on your phone first thing when you wake up is not good for you. So it is
that's honestly a great point, because I struggle with that right now. First thing in the morning, open up my phone and I check Twitter. But I guess this would be a healthier, you know, option, right? Like if I could wake up in the morning and actually just start looking at my sleep graph, you know, that's definitely going to be healthier than checking Twitter first thing in the morning.
I agree.
That's
I
fair.
am also guilty of the exact same thing. I'll check the internet before I sleep, and I wake up and I just check my phone.
Yeah.
And I still don't think I'll, you know, download this app, but great that it's here for people that want it.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna download it. I definitely want to check it out and see what it's all about.
Yeah, I mean that's what we all did with Pokemon Go, right?
No, I use Pokemon Go to this day. You don't use Pokemon Go ever?
No, I do. I'm just saying, like, we didn't know how impactful it would be until we started using it.
Exactly.
So sleep
I
might
misunderstood
be
that.
Impactful.
No, I think you're absolutely right. I guess the one thing that I'm worried about, Kim kind of touched on this, is that like, I feel like because it became such a meme online to the community, I'm almost afraid that they look at that and are like, oh, people really do want Pokemon Sleep. When in reality, Pokemon Sleep is really just, it's a joke. It's a meme.
Yeah.
I kind of got that vibe from Pokemon Snap. Pokemon Snap was, I mean, I don't even know, Johnny, do you know if it did well, like financially, if it actually sold well? Because I know it was popular. People did like it in the community. But I always thought Pokemon Snap was kind of like a gimmicky game. People say they want, I mean, this will go into our next conversation about Mystery Dungeon and some other games, but I don't know. I feel like a lot of these spin-offs, it's like, how much money is it actually making? How many people are actually playing it? You know, when people make a big stink on Twitter and hype it up and make campaigns, do they really want to play it, or is it just a loud minority?
Yeah, so the gimmicky is not always bad, right?
No,
I mean, I think we've seen with things like the Wii and the DS that gimmicks can be good, and Pokemon Snap I think does fit that category of like a good gimmick. And yes, it did sell well. It did review well by the player base, both versions, the original and the new version. The new version sold over 3 million, I think, which isn't like
that must be good for a spin-off then.
It is good for a spin-off. Exactly. Exactly. It's good for a spin-off. And the original I think sold somewhere over 1 million, maybe several million, but I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, and the gimmick is good. It's fun. It's like, it's novel, you know?
That's actually great to think that the new game 20 years later sold better than the original during Pokemania.
Yeah.
So actually that's like that destroys my point altogether. My point was, are people making a big stink and they're not actually going to buy it? You know, maybe if people are making a big stink about Pokemon Sleep and they make it a big point in the Pokemon Presents, maybe this is a good thing. Maybe it actually will be like incredibly popular.
It's more known because it was memed. I wouldn't have known about it
definitely.
Because like people keep citing it and I was like, what is that? When did they review that?
Yeah, I personally do believe that's why it overstayed its welcome in the Presents. Is like what Dusty mentioned earlier, that we memed about it so much that I think
he wants it.
They got the wrong idea and they were like, oh yeah, they must really want this game. Let's give it a huge portion. And that's exactly what happened.
Yes.
Maybe we should meme about like I don't know, or like Ranger next, and they'll do that.
Please, yeah, because I know you want Ranger. I've been memeing about Mystery Dungeon and Poke Park, but we'll see what ends up coming. Either way, Pokemon Sleep is definitely overstaying its welcome in this vodcast too. So let's go ahead and move on to the next topic, which is the Netflix series that is coming. I'll start with my opinions on this, and then we'll move on to Camtendo. But I was actually excited when they first came on the spot and were like, this is our first real Netflix dual production with Netflix and Pokemon. And I was like, okay, cool. What's it going to be? And then they said the words stop motion. And immediately I thought about how creeped out I've always been by stop motion things like Wallace.
You don't like stop motion?
No, I find it so scary. It's like the electronic Pikachu. It creeps me out.
Stop motion is beautiful. I grew up with stop motion. Johnny, you don't watch you don't like the what is it, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the stop motion?
No, it's creepy. And so is
cute.
Robot Chicken. So is
Robot Chicken is cool. It's like it's animation. It's like physical animation.
I find Wallace and Gromit creepy. What was that wrestling one? The celebrity wrestling.
I don't know that
series. It was on MTV. I found them all creepy.
Cam, I'm glad that you and I are in good company with each other. Not with Johnny.
The clay, it creeps me out.
Yeah, I think
they always
it's really
have big
cool.
hands.
I'm looking forward to it. I really am. I don't know too much about it. What is it called? Pokemon Pelago? Or what's it called?
It's like I think
Pokepelago is from
it's like
Sun and Moon.
Surge or something. Or
Concierge.
Yeah, that's what it's called. Pokemon Concierge.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it's so this is like it's like a specific one-off series, right? The only thing I can think of to compare this maybe to is how Star Wars is doing, like it's called Star Wars Visions, where they have like all these different they pretty much are like hiring animation studios to create different iterations within the Star Wars universe, and they're like 10-minute episodes, and they're like self-contained stories. I don't know if this is similar, but I'm excited to see Pokemon in a different format.
Yeah, I'm curious what the story is going to be like. They were. Do we know how many episodes they're going to be, or like who's in it, or we don't know if it's a limited series or if it's going to be long running, or
I'm assuming it's going to be like hyper limited. That's what I'm assuming.
Yeah, probably. Netflix has been more into limited series lately, so that's probably what it's going to be. But yeah,
I don't know. It could be cool. I really don't consume too much Pokemon like anime or Pokemon shows. I don't consume much of that. I
like the manga. The manga's cool.
Even that I don't really consume that much.
It can be good.
Yeah.
But speaking of what can be cool, let's move on to the Pokemon Unite announcement, because the Pokemon Unite announcement could have been so cool. I thought they were going to announce Lapras, and the reason Lapras is cool, I know you guys probably don't play this game. I play this game, and Lapras is cool because this is a team-based game where you get 5 people together, and Lapras lets people ride on their back. So like it's been data mined that the gimmick for Lapras is going to be able to have the other people on your team right on your back. And the concept of that sounds so fun. And I thought for sure, with it being Pokemon Day, that this cool new character who's unique to the game would be revealed and celebrated because it's a favorite Gen 1 Pokemon and everything. Everyone was going to rave about it. And then they showed us Zacian, who...
the worst legendary.
Exactly. Like
it's
some
so
people
bad.
Some people might like it. Like I think Cam Tendo, are you about to defend Zacian? Go ahead.
No, I say there are worse legendaries. In terms of being a title legendary, I'd say it's pretty underwhelming. But there are worse legendaries out there.
Yeah. So I know people like it.
Yeah.
I just don't think Doggo with sword in the mouth is that creative.
It's like, how does it bark? How does it communicate? Like it always has a sword in its mouth. But how do you howl with a sword in your mouth?
He figured it out. That's why he's legendary. Because he figured out how to howl. Because
he's resourceful.
Exactly. Yeah. Literally, what other doggo picks up a giant sword like that and is able to use it efficiently in combat?
My goodness.
That is a resourceful doggo. Either way, what was really underwhelming about Zacian, though, wasn't the fact that it was Zacian and that was the only Pokemon that they revealed for Pokemon Unite in the presents for some reason, but because the only thing they showed off about him was his Unite move, and they made a big deal about it. And if you guys don't know, Unite move is basically an ultimate move.
Yeah.
And, okay, so they revealed the Unite move only, but the Unite move is so simple. It's literally just him. They said, oh, his Unite move is him swinging the sword with his mouth, and it's like, really? I didn't see that coming. And they made such a big deal about it. And I'm like, why is this their big Pokemon Unite reveal? And then they moved on so fast. I was like, okay.
They should have swapped it with Hoopa, because you remember how broken Hoopa's Unite move is? Like teleporting the team around.
And unique and cool. Hoopa in general was really unique in the game. I'm glad we're in good company, Camtendo, because Dusty doesn't play this game.
I've never played Unite, so I don't know what to add right here. I think Unite has done a really great job of adding all my favorite Pokemon. Scizor, Sableye, it's great.
Scizor is great. I love Scizor. Sableye's a little menace, so if you ever play the game, you'll be...
Is he still there? Okay, it's still there.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
Okay, so then let's move on to what's going to be our biggest topic, perhaps, and that is the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC. This is where Camtendo got so much right, okay? Camtendo got... Do you want to go ahead and list everything you got right on this, Camtendo?
Okay, first, I might need you to rehash what I got right because I had a lot of thoughts in my own noggin, so...
That's fair. All right, I'll rehash what you got right, and then we'll talk about each one individually. So the first thing you got right was your big, picture this, a school trip. And you were right. It's the DLC. Both waves are about school trips to different places. And the other thing you got right was customization. You were like, they're going to give us a new set of clothing options for each DLC wave, and they did that as well.
Love it.
And then the last thing you got right was something else. I don't remember what, but I know for sure you got something else right.
I think
well, it'll come up in the video, I'm sure.
I think I know. I don't think I gave like what I said wasn't 100% what it was, but I remember saying something about a battle facility, and I am 100% sure that that's what Blueberry Academy is. It's just a glorified battle facility.
That's what it was. Yeah. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's first, because this will be the simplest one, let's talk about the fact that they added customization.
The customization really does look good. I'm looking at like even the official art, which isn't even the customization that we have access to right now, but the official art with the new outfits look incredible, dude. This might be my favorite new thing from the fact that we get DLCs is that we get themed outfits for the player characters. Even the Sword and Shield new outfits were like incredible for the DLC with the Crown Tundra outfit. So sick.
I'm glad you liked that. I really like the like kimono-esque new ones that they showed off. Yeah,
it's fun, man. It's fun.
Yeah, I think it's great. Yeah. What about you, Cam? How do you feel about them?
Oh, I'm super excited for them. I just wish we got to see more because I went back and rewatched Sword and Shield for comparison, and it revealed a lot more than this one did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was they kind of underwhelmed us by only showing JPEGs for the entire reveal for the DLC. They didn't show actual gameplay. It was just artwork. And so that's the scary part.
Yeah, 100% Johnny. I don't know if we're thinking the same thing right now, but when I realized that they only showed literally images, not even gameplay, of this DLC, I thought this thing's not even done yet. It's literally a shell of a game, and they're hiding the current performance the same way they hid the performance of or the state of Scarlet and Violet. Even up to like a month before the game came out, they were still showing us stuff from like months before. I think this game's not even like, I think this DLC isn't even close to being finished. And I'm looking at the website right now, and for both of these DLC locations, it says the Teal Mask at the bottom. It says the Teal Mask is slated for release in fall 2023, and then it says release date subject to change.
Oh.
Both of these say that. Wow. So honestly, I would not be surprised if we get Teal Mask maybe for holiday 2023, and then the Indigo Disc releases like in February or something. I think also they've proven that they can sell copies, right? Like in the beginning of a new year, they proved that with Legends Arceus. Yeah. So I don't know, maybe I'd rather a finished game than a very, very unfinished game.
There's a few things with that I find weird. So one is that it's starting in fall, which Sword and Shield started in summer with its DLC. So they're obviously like, maybe these are bigger expansions than that, or I don't know what is holding that back. Or maybe they actually will spend more time developing it, and they're also simultaneously supposedly developing, fixes to performance and all that. Well, so it could be a promising thing rather than a bad thing.
It could be, but I'm also noticing, let me pull this up right now. I'm pretty sure the Scarlet and Violet DLC is cheaper than the Sword and Shield DLC. How much was the Sword and Shield DLC?
30.
Was that another $60?
No, it was 30.
It was just 30.
altogether. Yeah.
It was 30.
Okay, so never mind. So right now you have these two parts of one DLC. It's $35, so it actually is more money.
It's more. Oh.
I do think that these are going to be much bigger because from what they described, the area we're going to for the first expansion seems like a mini region in itself. It's called like what, Katakari or something like that. I don't remember its name correctly.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it up. I think that's a good point, Cam. I think anything they create, any sort of biome they create in this engine, yeah, while it might not look amazing, it is going to be that open world, biome, right? And because it is smaller as well, I think they may be able to like add a lot more, not detail, but like I feel like they might be able to make them a lot more interesting to traverse. We saw that in the Crown Tundra, where there were like actual biomes for the first time. I was getting lost in cave structures in the Crown Tundra, and there are some areas like that in Scarlet and Violet, but like to think that like the focused DLC of Scarlet and Violet could be what we saw in Crown Tundra, but just even more. I think just because of the open world like style, it's actually going to be a lot more interesting.
Do you guys know the lore of the first DLC expansion?
For Scarlet Violet?
Yeah, it's based on an actual Japanese folklore tale.
Do tell.
That's really cool.
It's called The Tale of Momotaro, and it's about a young lad who was born from a peach. I don't know how, but he was born from a peach.
Yeah, me too.
And he befriended a dog, a bird, and
a monkey,
which are the three legendaries that were revealed. And then he journeys alongside those three animals to fight the ogre, which is the title legendary that we got for that DLC.
Oh,
that's cool.
I kind of like the legendary design for that one. I like both of these new ones. I think they're both cool. And the second one is totally that like terrestrialized symbol, right? With it on its back, and then it has all the types on its back too.
That is definitely. You know what? I noticed something. It is very cute for a third legendary.
It's so cute. I think both of these are going to have a new form.
Oh, definitely.
Lumi, my buddy Lumio's post has a great theory where he basically thinks the mask of the teal mask legend, that mask is essentially like going to be something similar to the Terra crown. So rather than a crown, it's a full mask that actually changes a Pokemon's form. So that mask might cause some sort of form change in some way, whether you take it off or put it on. Anyways, I think also like we typically see form changes in these third legendaries regardless.
Oh no, I think Lumi has a point, because do you remember the leak I sent you that was confirmed to be real?
I didn't read it. Tell me right now.
Okay, so they mentioned the teal mask Pokemon, and under it says undergoes a form when terrestrialized.
That's perfect. That's beautiful.
Well, there you go.
It's a third form when terrestrialized. But the biggest takeaway from this entire leak, even everything was right, like everything about it was right, was the final bullet point that says that we're working on a graphic enhancement patch for the games to be released alongside a new Switch model.
Really?
Yeah.
That got a lot of people excited.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, we can definitely do a whole episode on a new Switch.
Yeah, we can.
But that sounds epic, Cam. That sounds epic. If that has any credence, that sounds epic. Yeah. I wonder though if it's a new, like maybe just like an upgraded model of a Switch. Not really like a Switch 2, but anyways, that we could go into that forever.
Yeah.
That's epic. That's really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, both of these legendaries are super cool. I think there's a lot of cool Pokemon. We didn't even talk about the Paradox Pokemon.
Yeah.
Right. We got new Paradox confirmations.
Talk about
of Suicune and Virizion.
My favorite legendary of all time is Suicune. So I'm not too happy with the new form of Suicune because it's kind of hard to top that for me, obviously, is the first thing. But second thing, I also think they could have at least made it, I don't know, somewhat appealing. I don't personally find it appealing. It looks kind of nasty, which is the opposite of what Suicune embodies, which is like beauty, you know? Yeah. So I thought that maybe they would make it prettier. in some
Yeah.
way. But
have you
instead they made it ugly.
You obtained it, like, got it in a raid yet?
Wait, this weekend it's available already?
Yeah, you can get both of them.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
As
I
soon as
haven't.
you update the patch. I was very
I haven't got 'em either.
disappointed because of the fact that they get no Pokédex entries. Once you catch them, they get like nothing. You just catch it and that's it.
Dang,
There's
that's what
no-
they did with
oh, there-
Sword and Shield DLC, remember?
Yeah, they're not even in the game, or they're not in the decks, obviously.
Yeah, they're not in the dex. So once you catch it, that's it. It doesn't even have a dex number.
So that means
Bizarre.
Suicune's not coming.
No, then Suicune. What you're saying?
Like,
Suicune won't be in
real
the game.
Suicune. Yeah,
No,
real
I
Suicune
think-
won't be in the game.
No,
Why
I think
not?
It may come in DLC. They always add the legendaries in like the third version or the DLC. So I think it's going to come in the DLC. But
I hope you're right.
I was really disappointed because, we were all hyping up these two legendaries, which I guess that's more our fault. But I was really expecting to get, I don't know, like background knowledge or like lore implications. And we just got them distributed through a Terra raid, which I thought was extremely disappointing.
Well, Kim, I think basically these Paradox Pokemon and the fact that we can get them right now is the equivalent to the extra Galarian Slowpoke that we were given when we got the DLC for Crown Tundra and Isle of Armor. This is just like this is a hint. I think once we actually get the actual games, these Pokemon will be available somehow in Area 0, and there will be probably a little bit more backstory. That's what I think.
And a Dex entry.
I
At
hope
least a Dex entry.
so. A dex entry is like the bare
Crispy Dex entry.
Crispy. Ew. Okay. Changing topic now then.
But besides that, I know you don't like it, Dusty, but not Dusty, but Johnny. Which one is your favorite of the two?
The two that got revealed?
Yeah, the two paradoxes.
Neither.
You don't like?
I mean, so
Virizion is cool.
the Virizion one is literally Virizion but metal.
Yeah.
It's not different. It's just shaped differently at the ends.
Yeah, they're both unappealing, but I feel like even though you don't like the Suicune one is definitely more. It has more effort put into its design, I guess. Like, it looks cooler.
It has more effort put in, but I think the Virizion is the better of the two because it's closer to a good design, because Virizion has a good design.
Yeah. I think it really comes up to preference. I think there's such a drastic change from Suicune to, what is it called? Walking Wake?
Wavy hair?
Yeah.
I thought it was wavy hair or something. I can't remember.
Like, the designs are so different. Honestly, this really confirms to me that, like, Paradox Pokemon, you could say it's imagination based, but you could say it's literally just a random paradox, like it shouldn't exist.
That thing it shouldn't exist. It really shouldn't.
Yeah, these Pokemon like have no biological connection. It literally is just a blip on the map. Like, it shouldn't exist. It was brought to our universe somehow.
Yeah, they call it something different too. It's not even the same name.
Yeah,
it's not like
really
Suicune 2.0 or anything. It's wavy hair or whatever its name is.
But I think it's been fun to like see all these new legendaries though added to I don't know. I think I'm looking at these legendaries. They're growing on me. I think they are pretty cool. I think this era, I don't know, it feels weird to get these legendaries so early. Like, we just got Scarlet and Violet and we're already getting like Pokemon that should be existing, or the Pokemon that we should get next year, right? These are 2024 Pokemon in my mind.
Yeah. I mean, I like the box legendaries for both Scarlet and Violet and the DLC.
Yeah.
So, but especially so with these new ones coming out, I think they're pretty cool too. And the Terrastalize origin Pokemon is really cool, and I do think we're going to see another form of that, like you guys have said, because usually dome Pokemon in that shape, that's not their final. Like, think of Shaman, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That wasn't its only form,
I don't understand like why it actually has shapes on its body though. Like, it has fairy, it has fighting, it has ice. It's got like literally a normal symbol.
It's the origin of terastallization.
You know what's crazy?
What was that?
I feel like this would confirm that we're never gonna get a new type ever again.
Oh, definitely.
Oh
I was thinking the exact same
no!
thing.
Unless they just start a new universe, this could all
Yeah.
exist in previous universes, and then there's a
Bro.
new universe that
gotta make
has
that
another
tweet.
type. Because remember, fairy types didn't exist in the old universe, but now we got
Yep.
fairy types.
Bro, that's crazy.
Been spending too much
Because
time
they-
around Kayla.
Yeah,
Yeah.
If they were to make a new type, they would have to like remodel that legendary to include that type on its shell. And I don't think they would do that.
I mean, they could just describe. They could say like, I think those icons are actually like the reflections, or they're like if we're to assume this Pokemon, right? The theory goes that this Pokemon, this third legend, is creating things out of thin air. It's creating paradox. It's creating time shifts. It's bending reality. I think those are like little mirrors on its body, or little projections. And then basically it can make all of them turn to fairy type. It can make them all turn to fire. I feel like that's how it's actually going to function. We have official art of it that shows all these different types, but in reality, I think, it can just turn them on and off. And then if there is a new type, then it just, it makes one of those appear.
I
Yeah,
can
that's
say one
interesting.
thing though.
What?
We should never trust like books and Pokemon that provide pictures of a Pokemon.
Yeah.
Ever again.
Yeah, moral of the story, don't read. It's bad for you.
It's supposed to be like legends, so I guess it makes sense that they would be off when you find the real legend,
Yeah.
But the designs are cooler than we actually got for a lot of them.
I agree.
Except for the third legendary. I love the third legendary, but the two Paradox Pokemon, I was very disappointed.
Yeah. Okay. So then on that note, let's talk about things we didn't get to see in this Pokemon Presents that we totally thought we were. Because on the website, Spike Chunsoft was listed on some of the people that were going to be included on this Pokemon Presents, but I don't know what they were included in because Pokemon Mystery Dungeon wasn't there.
It was removed last minute. Did you hear that?
No. Oh, so there might still be a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game coming.
Yeah. It was like 2 days before the Presents, it was apparently removed, and that threw a lot of people off.
I had no idea. I wonder if it was an accident or if there's just another coming and they just didn't want to put it in this Presents because maybe it wasn't ready to show.
I think it's the latter. They probably did it for time restraints, because they're like, you know what, we have this set for 25. If we reveal Mystery Dungeon, it'll go over that limit. And the fans obviously want sleep more, so
Oh
you
no.
have to make a choice.
They did it. The memers did this to us.
You have to
Thank
make a
you,
choice.
memers.
Sleep is more important than Mystery Dungeon. So we know, this. They probably went to Spike Chunsoft and was like, this is a very hard decision for us to make. Not really. The fans asked for it, so we'll see you in 2024.
That's too bad because there was no new game reveal.
No.
So they could have had that as the new game reveal.
It's awful. I have like a Mystery Dungeon fever right now. I need to play a new Mystery Dungeon game. I don't know why.
I
It's
feel
just,
that.
And now that we're not getting it, we know it exists though. We can say that we at least know it exists since it was on the site and then got removed mysteriously.
Yeah.
So we know it's out there, but the fact that we didn't get it, because I was talking to Ruffled, and we both brought this up that when the Sword and Shield DLC was revealed, they revealed Mystery Dungeon to go alongside that to hold you over, because they revealed the games and then there was that brief period. They revealed like Mystery Dungeon came out during that brief period, and then there was DLC 1 and then DLC 2 later that year. This time we have nothing to hold us over until fall and then eventually winter. So,
Yeah, Cam, that's a great point. I really thought a lot of my disappointment from this Presents comes from the fact that I thought they were going to give us the Pokemon ports, right? They were going to give us Gens 1, 2, and 3. And this is the perfect time to give us that, right? Maybe so we don't have those right now, right? That's not in the forecast, but I do think if I still get a little bit of copium left, I really do think in the next couple months they could say, here's a Pokemon Presents, right? Now that you've played Scarlet and Violet, we're 6 months out from Scarlet and Violet. You know about the DLC, the hype's come and gone. Now there's a dead period. Guess what? Pokemon Presents, we want to announce that Pokemon Home is going to be activated, but also Gens 1, 2, and 3 are going to be rolling out. Enjoy them. Because those are also very short, because they're old games, there's going to be short-lived cycles, but I still think, like, if they were to announce them at a later date, where there's no hype about anything else, I feel like there'll be maximum purchases, right? give it a clean slate for us to purchase, buy a game, enjoy it for a month, and then give us the next one, and then give us Gen 3 the month after. And then even then, we'll still be like months away from DLC at that point.
Yeah, I kind of predicted that the Game Boy Pokemon games were not going to be coming because, for me, I don't think they're ever coming. You guys,
No,
I know you guys feel
they will come at some point.
I know you guys feel that way.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I know. You explained to me too that they actually do have the ability to trade, like already implemented in these emulators, but there's just so many implications, and like just knowing the Pokemon company and how it's so scummy with how it wants money, I think that there's too many implications for how easy it would be to get some Pokemon with access to those games on the Switch that they won't do it.
So what do you mean? So like if you think they're scummy with money, wouldn't they want to make us pay again for these classic games? Because I said earlier like I wouldn't
be paying for them. They would be on the Nintendo Switch.
That's what a lot of people think, that they would put the ports on the NSO. But I think what they could also do, I'd be happy to spend $100, $200, right? I'm gonna get my playtime out of these games, like no problem, right? Yeah. If they give us a console, they give us a game, right? Like the Super Mario All Stars, right? And they give us a game with whatever games that they want to give us. I'm happy to buy that. I'll spend $100. It'll probably be $70, but I'll spend $100. I don't care how much it is. Like, to guarantee that I have those games with unlocked features that I can't currently access on my original copies, right? Like there's Pokemon and events and things, data in Ruby and Sapphire and Emerald that I can't currently get because they're locked away mystery gifts, right? If they give us if they give us a Super Pokemon All Stars, whatever you want to call it, collector's edition, whatever, that can be its own thing. I think that could be its own thing.
I would love that, yeah, but so if they did do it separately from the NSO stuff, then yes, I can see that happening. But I don't think that if the option is to put it on NSO, I don't think they're going to put it on NSO.
Yeah, I get you, because then they're I mean, you could say they're giving it away for free, but also it would guarantee that I would keep my Nintendo Switch online subscription. That's like $50 a month I'm essentially paying to access them, right? That's a lot of money.
But the Pokemon company, I think, wants people to buy their new games rather than the old ones and keep having that sort of fever.
If you guys, I was gonna say, if you guys don't know, Fire Emblem 1 for its anniversary, they released the very first is it SNES? No, it's NES. They released the very first game separately from the NSO for like $6.
Beautiful.
Believe. And it was it was a limited time purchase, so you can't buy it anymore.
I just spent $30 on seltzer water at the market basket on the street. Like, for a Pokemon game, I will spend $6. I'll spend $20.
If they do it, I think they will make it a limited time release. That actually makes a lot of sense because they love doing limited time events, right? So that would
get it now.
Yeah.
FOMO is really infectious. If you slap limited time purchase, people will immediately be oh, I have to buy it because if I don't, it'll be gone in the next month. So they will jump to that purchase. I know I would. I did that with Mario, even though it's still at Walmart. I might go to Walmart right now and it's still there because it didn't really sell.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I think it will come at some point. Johnny, you were right. Like, I feel like the NSO is I also don't even want it to be a subscription thing because I would be spending more money in the long run if it was subscription. But also, I want to be able to own a game. Like, right here, I have literally probably 20 games. Like, these are DS games, but I don't know, these are games that I've had my whole life, and I can literally open them up and play them at any point I want, right? Like, there's some magic behind that. That's why I buy physical, at least. And I don't think all games are worth doing that for, but for the Pokemon games, it's important to me, and I think it's nice being able to bring everything up. If they were to port these classic Pokemon games, they could all be they would all be accessible with Pokemon Home, and then you can bring that stuff into the new DLC game that they're trying to promote.
Yeah, I agree. It's weird because Stadium is coming to NSO eventually.
1 and 2, right?
Yeah, 1 and 2, along with Pinball. So and like I said in our previous podcast, it's just really weird because after March, you won't be able to buy Gen 1 and 2 on the eShop anymore. So the stars aligned for it, and it's just really weird how they just ditched it.
Yeah, and maybe it's that
doesn't feel right.
Yeah, Kim, I mean, I think we've watched the videos, we've read the stuff, like I feel like we it all the signs are pointing for it to be ported in some way. And the fact that it was missing from today's presents, the only thing I can think of is like there was already enough information and they didn't want to overshadow or they didn't want to overshadow the DLC, or they didn't want the DLC to overshadow the ports, right? Because I think what they're probably going to do is say, Pokemon Presents, the games are out, go buy them. They're out right now, go buy them. That would be exciting. I don't think there's a way where they go, the games are coming, but you have to wait 2 months. Because then it's not exciting in 2 months, right? These games have been out for 25 years, 27 years, right?
Well, porting these games is so easy for them. It's not like it's hard. But so I think if they were going to reveal it, it would have been today, because it's not that it would, neither would overshadow the other. What it would be is exactly what you said you wanted earlier, which is Scarlet and Violet's coming out, or the DLC is not coming out till fall. We need something in the middle to like tide us over. This would have been it. You know, that would have been, I mean, we have
maybe
nothing,
next month.
So like that could have been it. But this would have been the video to announce it on, because it would get people buying both and like going, and no one, only the super hardcore fans are going to buy the DLC today, because we have nothing, no info on it. There's no gameplay we've seen of it. We don't know what it is exactly. It's just been artwork. So like today would have been the day to announce the retro games coming, and then the next presents, when they do show gameplay, that would not be the time. That's when you would have it overshadowing the announcement of these games coming, the retro games coming. You know, I think it's actually a dumb move if they didn't do it today, if they do have it in line. But they're still gonna make a lot, and no matter what, right? It's Pokemon. But I'm saying they would make even more if they had an announcement today.
Yeah, I think a couple of years ago, I've been predicting that we're going to get these virtual console games in 2024. That was always like what I kind of thought, because I'm thinking, right, they don't want to overshadow whatever the most current game is, right? We just got a brand new game. It didn't make sense to me that they would say, let's put out more games to distract or dilute, right, this current game. We're literally in the heart of Scarlet and Violet. They just announced DLC. There's more hype. There's live events. It's the lifeblood right now. The anime hasn't even started yet, right? The last thing they want to do is dilute whatever the excitement that is, or attention. But at this point, now that some other things start to align, it's like this is when it should happen. If we're gonna wait a year, something's gonna happen. Whether it's this, or it's Mystery Dungeon, or a Pokemon Ranger remake, or what is it? Pokemon. What's that other one that people love?
Like Poke Park.
No, the
Poke Park.
It's like Fire Emblem.
Mystery Dungeon.
Conquest, yeah.
Okay. Mystery Dungeon's also like Fire Emblem, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it is, yeah. But I don't know. I think I'm excited for the end of the year. I'm a little curious what they're gonna put in the middle of the year. Maybe they have stuff planned. Maybe they just want to. Maybe they're just gonna keep doing events to keep people activated.
They want you to sleep.
I think it'll just be events.
They want you to sleep.
They want you to hibernate.
Kim, they're not gonna have any problem with that, because after that present, I'm pretty asleep.
Oh, trust me, me too. I don't know what happened, but after the presents, I was like, this is awesome. But then my eyes just got extremely heavy.
Yeah, they drugged you. It's Pokemon hype.
Hey, I thought the presents was hilarious, so I was wide awake afterwards.
Yeah,
I think we were both equally just like, this was not it.
I was just laughing at everything. It was like so poorly done and put together. And then there was like the creepy animatronic Pikachu and the creepy show coming and things like that. And the fact that they just like spent so much time talking about Zamazenta's or Zacian's Unite move in Pokemon Unite, when it's literally just a sword slash, had me rolling. I was just
and the
laughing.
translator was also stuttering at some points. I also noticed that. I don't know if anybody else did, but I was like, is he okay? Because he's like stuttering over his lines a bit.
I didn't notice the stutter, but I noticed that the original speaker, the guy who actually was speaking Japanese, would like say something and then go And then now we have it's like he took this huge breath, didn't do anything with it, and then started talking again. And there was like these huge gaps in between when he started talking. And you saw that too with the narrator. The narrator's, I feel like the narrator's head was like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah. He has to play the role of the speaker. So everything the speaker does, he has to copy that. So.
But he just sounded confused. That's probably why he stuttered.
That's probably why.
So that was a really fun discussion, and so that everyone knows that we had today on with us Camtendo, who is apparently a psychic and knew a bunch of things with this presents. You can find him at Camtendo with a K.
My predictions are right 95% of the time.
Yeah.
That's a high percentage, okay?
For real.
And then we also have Dusty Go-Goat from the channel Dusty Go-Goat, and
so glad to be here, man.
And your Sableye, who has been on the... Wait.
What do you mean?
Wasn't your Sableye on the back dresser?
Oh my
I
God.
thought...
Didn't we talk about this? Is this the animatronic Pikachu V2? He's on the stairs! Dusty! Dusty! Did you know this? Because you're acting really suspicious right now.
I did not do that. It moved by itself. It must have moved by itself.
Oh my God.
It's just staring at me.
This has been a creepy day, okay? The animatronic Pikachu.
Maybe it fell off.
Show.
Maybe it might have fallen off. I'm not really sure.
Can you fall that way?
I don't know.
That's not a fall. That's levitation.
That's like, yeah, he totally walked and moved there.
I feel like I just used memento.
At least he didn't come through the camera and come over here, because that would have been a whole other bit of scary.
I'm feeling like my destiny is bonded with it.
That's
Destiny Bond, the movie Destiny Bond.
Yeah, no, we got it.
We both die in 3
We got
games.
it. That was a joke. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a Pokemon play.
Well, so we have now Dusty Go-Goat and his apparently living Sableye in the back, who moved. I don't know when. When did you?
Yeah.
When did he do that? Like what?
I didn't do anything.
Now people have
I've been
to go back.
engaged with this conversation.
Everyone has to go back in the video and figure out where Sableye moved. That's going to be fun. I'm going to have to look at that. That's scary. Okay. And I am, of course, johtojonny. You can find us all here on YouTube. You can find us on Discord, and we'll have all the links in all of our videos. It's all connected. We love you guys. Cam? Did Cam leave?
Oh,
Did Sableye get Cam? Oh, okay.
No.
Wait, is he still behind you, Dusty? No. Okay, so Cam, you're okay.
I'm alive.
You're still safe for now.